Today's last 10th week class. The title is Introduction to Economics. So today we will review the utility. Continues last week. We studied the ordinal utility. Today we will study cardinal, total, marginal utility. And then just I briefly review the total economics class subject. And then finish our class. Okay, last week I introduced we have four kinds of utility. Utility is some kind of measure, scale. So there are many kinds of satisfy and service and invisible goods and services. So how can we calculate or compare? At that time, we need to utility concept. So in the economics, starting the class, first time we have to understand the utility. So let me introduce the utility, four kinds of utility. First, ordinal utility approach. According to the concept of ordinal utility, the utility derived from the consumption of commodities, goods and services, cannot be measured. How many satisfied for the apple's taste? We cannot measure them. At that time, we're using the utility. So it is only an expression of the consumer preference. Ordinary is the preference order for some one commodity over another, or one basket of goods over another. This is for ordinal utility. The ordinal concepts permits us to say only that the consumer prefer an apple to an orange. Oh, I like the apple better than orange. But it does not indicate by how much. We cannot say to how much do you like apple better than orange. Okay? This is ordinal utility. So that's why ordinal utility approach uses indifferences curves. Last time I showed you this is where is it? Indifference curves. See? So indifference curves means is graphically representation of the various combination of two goods or which consumer is equally satisfied. It means, let me show it the graph. Indifference curves is commodity X, apple, commodity Y, for example, orange. So B point, apple, B point, orange, some combination is P. Also A is this point, apple, this point. So bundle A and bundle B means is a combination apple and orange provide the same level of utility. So this is for indifference curve. So we can explain this one. Combination C combination C is 41 hamburgers and 9 hot dogs. Combination B, how many hamburgers? 26 hamburgers and 10 hot dogs. This hamburger is a hot dog. And 8 point combination consists of 20 hamburgers and 14 hot dogs. A, B, C point, it means it's combination with hamburgers and hot dogs. The same utility. Same satisfied. Anyway, I have 41 hamburgers, 9 hot dogs, same satisfied. I say this is the same level of utility. So that's why A, B, C is same level of utility. This is for ordinal utility concepts. So this point, make it this right side slow down curve. This is independence curves. Okay. So graphically representation of the various combination, lots of combinations, A, B, C, D, something. So this consumer is equally satisfied point. A, B, C, equally satisfied. This is indifference curve. Okay. So let me introduce the definition of independence curves again. The independence curve is a chart showing the various combination of two goods or commodities consumers can choose. At any point on the curve, the combination of the two will leave the consumer equally well off or equally satisfied. Hence, indifference. This is indifference curves. Okay. So, ordinal utility approach uses indifferences curves to analyze the consumer behavior. How to use these indifference curves? We can use the consumer behavior. Consumer choice A or B or C. So consumer choice A or B or C, it doesn't matter. It is very same satisfied utility. Okay. This is for ordinal utility. Last week also I will introduce the marginal revolution. So the concept of the opportunity cost helps you decide whether to do something, which one, such as where to go to college or to a movie. You have to go to study. I want to go to the movies. So lots of decision there, though. So, but it's whether to do something, but how much to do something. To deal with this kind of decision, economist uses another powerful techniques we are called marginalism. For example, the marginalism is suppose that you are at a fast food restaurant and that you are about to order some hamburgers. There's so many cases. Their price is $1 each. Table 1 shows the total benefits and the opportunity cost to you of buying and eating different quantities of these hamburgers. The opportunity cost of each calorie quantity is equal to the price of the hamburger, $1 times the number of hamburgers. Usually the cost means if you decide to get the hamburger, $1 hamburger, and it means you sacrifice choice another $1 hot dogs. It's at the time we say hot dogs is opportunity cost. Okay, so marginalism is the insight that the people make economic decisions over specific unit, hamburger $1 or hot dog $1 or hamburger hot dog combination. Make economic decision over specific units, so increments of units, rather than making categorical all or nothing decisions. This is a marginal concept, okay? So marginal revolution shows these pictures. Marginal cost is also right slow down, and marginal value means is infinitely increasing marginal gains. So the marginal cost and the marginal values have some gaps. The gaps is marginal gain. Also, the cumulative value of the population is this yellow curves. This part is the gains, marginal gains. So we increase the volume, and the marginal gains is a little bit increased. Okay, this is marginalism in pictures. Okay. And the independent class. Okay. Heuristics. Heuristics is a mental shortcut commonly used to simplify the problems and avoid cognitive overload. This is heuristics. So heuristics are part of how the human brain evolved and is wired, allowing the individuals to quickly reach reasonable conclusion or solution to complex problems. We have a lot of problems and complex or difficult. But finally, I want a conclusion. How? Also, reasonable conclusion. Reasonable means is last time I talked to you. All human beings think about it or to make decision is reasonably. No. Most of economists cannot accept human beings act by reasonably conclusion. Sometimes quickly it's not reasonable. So anyway, this thing is heuristics. So it means mental shortcut used to simplify problems and avoid cognitive overload. Avoid it. So why we mention in the heuristics in area of the ordinal utility, most people follow up the reasonable choices or heuristics to avoid cognitive overload or used to simplify problems. At the time we're using the heuristics. And also we want to know the related ordinal utility welfare economics. Let me show you the welfare economics. Welfare economics defines the study of how the allocation of resources and goods affect social welfare. This is main reason or main hot issues every country. Social welfare. This is for make smaller concepts. So welfare economics. So this concept is enlarged. Let me show you the social welfare system. It means it's a system that provides assistance to individuals and families in need. This is for goal of the nation. So all nations focus the social welfare. So how do we social welfare system? Did you know that most countries have some social welfare is gone to 2035 or something? So how do that? So it means I reserved the money when I was young and during my work time for 2 to 3 decades or sometimes for 4 decades. And almost 40 years I work and then I accumulate, save, a little bit save time, save concept. So I accumulated the social welfare funds and then I got it. But the problem is everybody, I put it the social welfare $10,000, but after 40 years I can get the $10,000 plus alpha. It means interesting. But if I have only one social welfare, it's no problem. But the national is controlled all people. That's why it's very difficult problem in there. Somebody poor, somebody rich. So social welfare funds, how to they control the social welfare system? This is for very effective to fall, so it's election. So many people need some assistance. So the social welfare system is provide assist to individuals and families indeed. This is social welfare. So that's why the welfare economics is related to social welfare systems. The study of how the allocation resources and goods affect social welfare. This is welfare economy. How do we allocate that? Social welfare. There are many kinds of it. The directly support the money and sometimes directly support for medical reason and drug support, something like that. This is welfare economics, okay? Okay, that's it. How do we approach the consumer behavior? Ordinary utility first, okay? And next is second, usually we say cardinal utility. In the economics, the cardinal utility functions or scale is the utility index that preserves performance, preference, ordering uniquely of the positive affairs, affine transformations. Cardinal. The cardinal utility states that the level of the satisfaction a consumer acquires after consuming any good and services can be measurable and expressed in the quantitative numbers. It means, okay, I have 5 apples and 5 oranges. I ate. It means I acquire after consuming any apple and orange, and then after that I can be measured and express the quantitative numbers. It means I satisfied the total 5 among 10, or 6 among 10, or something like that. So we mentioned that there's a Brunei hypothesis. Brunei is something hypothesis. He suggests the problem of people maximize the moral expectation. It means every people wants to moral expectation maximize rather than expect monetary value. So Brunei made a clear distinction between expected value and expected utility. So what is the difference between expected value and expected utility? Instead of using the weighted outcomes, he used the weighted utility multiplied by probability. Brunei using the probability. Okay. I liked apple. How much probability? Okay, 50, about 60%. I like orange, like the probability about 40%. It means data. I have some data eating style. Apple 60%, orange 40%. And then I can calculate expected value and expected utility. And then times multiplies the times probability. And then we can calculate the cardinals. So what is the difference ordinal and the cardinal utility? Let me show you the graph. Cardinal utility is giving a difference choices a specific utility value. As I said, between value and between expected utility. So enable consumers to ranking the magnitude of how much they prefer one good to another. How much do you like? How much prefer? But the other hand, the original utility is ranking choices by order of preference. Make order. It does not try to give the magnitude of how much a consumer prefers a goods. Just order. So let me show you one more tables. Is what is the difference, ordinal utility and the cardinal utility differences. The comparison reason is meaning. What's the meaning is different? Cardinal utility is the utility wherein the satisfaction derived by the consumers from the consumption of goods or services can be expressed numerically. Numerically means is expected value and expected utility, how much. The other hand, the meaning of the ordinal utility is ordinal utility states that the satisfaction which consumer derives from the consumption of goods and services cannot be expressed numerically, cannot express, as I said. Also, approach side, the cardinal utility can measure the quantitative. But the ordinal utility measure approach or qualitative. Qualitative means quality. Quantitative means number. Also, realistic is the cardinal utility is very less, but ordinal is very more, better than cardinal. Measurement style is utils, rankings. So cardinal is utils, but ordinal is ranking. First, second, third, something. Also, based on a comparison of analysis, the cardinal utility, marginal utility analysis. But ordinal utility using the analysis of indifference curves analysis. Let me show you this. I showed the independence curve analysis. So marginal utility analysis is we consume more volume, and then a little bit increase the portion of the marginal utility. And also promoted by the classical and neo-classical economists using the cardinal utility. But the other promoted by original utility using the modern economists using now is ordinal utility mostly. Okay, this is different for cardinal and ordinal utility. Also, understanding utility, as I said, is we have four kinds of utility: ordinal, cardinal, that's it, and total utility and marginal utility. Okay, let me show you the total utility defined. Total utility is usually defined as a quantifiable summation of satisfaction or happiness obtained from consuming multiple units of a particular good or services. It means using the good and services, and how much total gain the utility. This is total utility. So total utility is used in the economist analysis of consumer behaviors with the market price. Also, total utility function in economics. Yes, total utility. I'll show you the definition. The aggregate summation of satisfaction or fulfillments a consumer receives through the consumption of goods and services. So summation of satisfaction or fulfillment. We are using the goods and services. And then this is total utility. And the final utility, we can review the marginal utility. A little bit complex, but I just briefly review this one. The marginal utility is the added satisfaction a consumer gets from having one more unit of good and service. Okay, let's have there is 5 apples, and then I ate one by one apples, and then first satisfaction and added second apples. After that, I added utility, almost good taste. So a little bit increase or decrease. This is marginal concept. The concept of marginal utility is used by the economists to determine how much of an item consumers are willing to purchase. It means I can buy apple more and more, or orange more and more, better than apple or better than orange. Because at that time we think about the marginal concepts. So at this time we can using the theory is the law of diminishing marginal utility. This law is often used to justify the progressive taxes. So it means most people buy the apples in here, for example, and first buying or 8, and some get utility from 8 first step, and second apples a little bit increase the utility or decrease utility. 2 things. After that, or 2 things. Increase or decrease. Increase and decrease. First apples, if I consume both apples, also increase or decrease. This one is also same. Number 5 apples, also increase, decrease. Increase utility, decrease utility. It means taste. Mostly the subject to is 5 apples is same taste. In this case, the ordinarily I ate 5 apples, decrease 1, decrease x2, because first I ate apple and then a little bit decrease the satisfaction, a little bit different, a little bit decrease. So decrease case. So subject to 5 same taste apples, I ate one by one, make order this one, and cumulative the taste, and then finally I gotta diminish the total utility. This is marginal utility. So marginal utility shows to the formula is the change in the total utility divided by change in number of units consumed. It means, or marginal utility is a TU, total utility minus total utility means is how much total utility divided by change of number. This is marginal utility concept. So the added satisfaction and the consumer gets from having one more unit of goods and services. I added one more, and then I got it. Let me show you the graph. The total utility and the marginal utility is different. This picture shows that the difference. Marginal utility measures the change in satisfaction from consuming one additional unit. But the total utility measures the total amount of satisfaction of you get from all the units you consume of goods and services. Marginal utility affects total utility. That's why. Because I don't want two more apples and then I finish the set. That's why. Marginal utility affects the total utility. So the graph shows the total utility is some point is maximum consumed units and then going down, slow down. And this point, unit consumed, is point of satisfied point. And this area is dissatisfaction. It means if I getting more and consume the more product, and then I losing my utility. That means no more taste. At least this point is marginal utility cross x-axis. And then this point is maximum units consumed. So any product, it shows the total utility is going up and going down, and the highest point of total utility and also the marginal utility is consumed add by add, and then the utility is going down. And the point is that marginal utility meet the x-axis unit consumed, and this point also the highest total unit point, and then this is meet the one point. We say this maximum point of satiety. So this is for marginal and total utility differences. Also, I'll show you the law of diminishing marginal utility. Why this marginal utility is diminished? The reason is we say we can explain by law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility states that for any good or services, the marginal utility of that goods or services decrease as the quantity of the good increases. In other words, we say total utility increase more and more slowly as the quantity consumed increases. This time. More consume means it's going to right side axis, and then a little bit increase the total utility, but some point, and then going down toward it. It means you ate the hamburgers, 10 or 15, depends on people, and some volume is the highest utility, and then next to consume is a little bit decrease, you are satisfied. That point is marginal utility 0 point, same. This is the law of diminishing marginal utility. The defined is that an economic law that states that all else being equal, as consumption increases, the satisfaction derived from each additional unit decreases. So marginal utility is decrease the consumed each. Okay, let me show you what is the difference between total and marginal utility chart. The basic is meaning, general tendency, something. Anyway, What's the meaning difference? Is total utility is the aggregate satisfaction derived from the consumption of commodity by a consumer. But the other hand, the marginal utility meaning is the additional satisfaction derived from consuming an extra units of a commodity by a consumer. Extra unit. So general tendency is in the beginning it increase, but at the decreasing rate. It means it's going up and going down. It's total unity. But marginal utility general tendency tends to diminishing as more and more units of a commodity are consumed. This is that. I show that. The point of satiety. The total unity, the point of the satiety arrives when it is maximum. Total and top. But the other hand, the marginal utility point of satiety is arrives where it is zero. Let's show again. Okay. So zero point here. Marginal utility. But the other hand, total unity is highest point. It is for total and marginal utility difference. Also, after saturation, total unity tends to decrease after the point of saturation is reached. But marginal utility becomes negative after the point of the saturation. It means, I'll show you that. This one is for dissatisfaction. It means if I consume more and more, it means that I don't like it or hate that. The utility is decreased. Point this one. This is for difference, total and marginal utility. So calculation, how to calculate? The total utility can be calculated as the summation of the marginal utility derived from all unit of the commodity. All unit. There is point, this one. Just plus. And then we can calculate the total unit. N unit we consumed. But the other hand, the marginal utility is one more added utility consumed and then added utility. That's why total unity n minus former total utility n minus 1. It is the marginal utility expression equation. So in the economics, utility is term used to determine the worth of value of a good or services. More specifically, utility is the total satisfaction of benefits derived from consuming a good and services. Economics theory based on the rational choices. Rational choices usually assume that the consumer will strive to maximize their utility. It means all human being wants to consume the maximize each utility. Why you ate this apple or orange? I want to make satisfied. Eating apple or orange. It means consume the commodity. And then the rational choice is based reason of the choice. So the rational choice theory. It means is refers to a set of the guideline help understand economic and social behavior. How human being doing the buying or consume theory. This is for rational choice theory. It is a little bit contains the guidelines. So this theory originated the 18th century, very real, and can be traced back to political economists and philosophers Adam Smith. You know that Adam Smith. So rational choice theory states individuals use rational calculations to make rational choice and then achieve outcomes that are aligned with their own personal objectives. It means, okay, first time each individuals use the rational choice, rational calculation. It means nowadays we say the data. So I want to buy I'm very hungry, so a hamburger and hot dog. Now I'm very hungry, and I want to choose two things. It depends on my history. History means it's the data. All record include the history. So I ate hamburgers, I ate hot dogs last time. So this is a record. I ate a hamburger yesterday. Now I want hot dog better than hamburger because yesterday I ate. This is a history. History means data. All your record automatically your history. History accumulated and then this is automatically become a data. So data means nowadays big data is using that your data. If you're choosing or something, watching your YouTube or any social network, and then the invisible data is accumulate your record in the whole company have it, and that's why the company wants to buy your record and then concentrate to advertisement for your seller. This is data. So also there now I'm very hungry, but hamburger and hot dog, which one is better? Which one is better? For example, each one is $10. This is subject to it because all condition is the same. And then decide that this hamburger utility and hot dog utility is different. First time, rational calculate. It means I think the data, I think the history, or record. Last time, hamburger is better. Hot dog is also better, or something like that. Calculate. And second process in the rational choice theory is make a choice. Make choice. Okay, I like at this time hamburger. And then act again, get or achieve. Achieve is get. Get outcomes. It means, okay, I decide the hot dog better than hamburger, and then I bought the hot dog and then ate, and then I get some outcomes. Outcome means is I satisfied and it is also meet my goal. I'm very hungry and the hot dog is very satisfied. This is for achieve get outcomes. And then this is for data. Become a data. Okay. I ate the hot dog and very cool outcomes. That's it. And this data is accumulated. That is become a personal objectives. sometimes negative, sometimes positive. It doesn't matter. So now I have to decide that, but very poor. And next time personal objective is changed, and same procedures repeated. This is rational choice theory, but it's very simple. And then this hierarchy is followed. First time, rational calculation in your mind, and make choice, and achieve the outcomes, and then accumulate data, and this data is become a personal objectives. Next action. This is for rational choice. Okay, this is for all utility of economics, because this utility is very important concept of the economics. So why? We have some number system, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can calculate that. Times, divide, plus, minus, and then we can compare by the index, numbers. But the utility is different, because we cannot measure how calculate. So we make some kind of the numbers. It is utility. So we can use the ordinal utility, cardinal utility, sometimes with total utility and marginal utility. And then the human beings, individuals, choose in the market. This is very important way of the consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is a very long subject in the economics, but one subject in the every countries, every college and universities. So consumer behavior is also a part of the economics part. This is very difficult area, because in there some psychology concept in the economics. Okay. This is the introduction to economic class. So let me show it the finalized concept of the economics for you guys. Final review of my summary. What is the economics? Economics is the study of the how society manages its scarce resources. Remember that? We are very limited resources, limited pocket money. So how do we manage in scarce resources, limited resources? Scarcity means that the society has less than people desire. People want to a lot, but actually society have less than. How do we allocate it, economic resources, limited or some scarce resources, same money. Also, the other concept of economics, we say the equity and efficiency. Most college make first midterm or final exam of economic class. What is the subject for question? What is the different efficiency versus effective? Most college make a question, what is the difference, efficiency and effectiveness in the economics? So, but this authors says equity versus efficiency, because at this time the define of the economics. So we have limited resources. So we have to mention that equity and efficiency. So equity means distributing resources fairly among members of society. But this is not guaranteed efficiency. Equity means just to distribute. But this is not followed the efficiency. So efficiency means the maximizing society net benefit from scarce resources. This is not guaranteed equity. Equity also not guaranteed efficiency. Also effective also does not guarantee equity. It means we have some hamburgers. And now in the United States, hamburger is not efficient. Equity is okay. But now is some areas have some word in the Uzbekistan or some Africa is very poor there. And then that hamburger is on the other story. We transport that the country, very poor country, and then they eat the hamburgers. Oh, it's very high utility. So equity cannot guarantee effectiveness. Also, efficiency also cannot guarantee the equity. It means is to allocate profit. This is for relay the economic research. This is economics. Okay. And next, I want to give you information about the markets. Market is a group of sellers that trade products and services as very normal concept. For agree form of remuneration, which is often more money today, or is the bias. So mostly we say some invisible place with buyer and sellers. This is market. And there are two kinds of markets, product markets and the labor markets. So in the economics have some part of the research area is labor economic part, and the product economic part also. So in the when we are mentioned that the market, we have two kinds of that in the economics. It's a product market and the labor market. So product market is firms sell products, correct? And consumers buy product. This is product market, mostly consumer market. And the labor market, the workers sell labor service. It's work power, manpower, workforce. And the firm buy labor service. So this is for how to they meet in the invisible market. This is market concept, okay? When we mention the markets, is also we have to know the circular flow of goods and services circulation. Product markets, consumer demands products, the elasticity. And the producer supplies products, this is elasticity. But the labor market is workers supplies labor and firms demand labor. Or must sell or buy the labor. So at the time we knows the two concepts. One is equilibrium, the other one is efficiency. Equilibrium is derived from the price in the market. As you know, demand and supplies. Let me show you the equilibrium, this one. Equilibrium is centrifugal force that determines market prices and the quantity of products and the labor services exchanged. Anyway, there are some exchange place there. And holding other factors content. It means is other subject is same. So show it the equilibrium graph this style. This is demand and curves, supply and demand curve same. So x-axis is quantity, y-axis is price. So consumers market demand curve of products is right slope down curve. But the producers market supply curve of products is right up graph. And then they meet the one point. That point we say this equilibrium. That is P. P price at that time the quantity is Q. It is equilibrium. So equilibrium is a result of this three things. One thing is skills and knowledge of. Second one is interaction in the market with. And third concept is exchange among individuals, suppliers, and those who demands products and labor services. And so market prices at all levels of the competition among producers are determined by this interaction of individuals on both sides of market. Market is producer and consumer. The labor market is a firm and manpower, labor. Meet some point. This point we say the equilibrium. Also, the other concept of the economics, we think about efficiency. Efficiency is related to rational behavior, as I said. The purpose of the studying economics is to understand how scarce goods and services are most effectively allocated. But we have very limited resources. So economic efficiency implies the most sustainable organization of the economics occurs, and this individual gains to supplying and consuming goods and services is maximized. This is rational choice. So market exchange meditate through market prices can provide a supply superior allocation of resources than offered by social planning. Some cases, there are many kind of theory from there is communist and democracy or something. So social planning is market price exchange. Allocation, allowing resources to be allocated through decentralized or private voluntary participation. So efficiency is also related but invisible hands. So efficiency, we mentioned the efficiency, we circulate plural things. One thing is the flow of goods and services circulate this type. Product markets sell the household factor market, and then firms. And firms goes to the product market is circulate of goods and services. The other hand, circulate flow of dollars. The product is flow that, but the other hand is the other side flow the dollars. So household buy the products, so gives the dollar to the product markets. Product market also gives the money to firm. Firm also gives the money to factor market. Factor markets also gives the money to household, the reason of labor. So two circular flow we join, combine this one. The product flow this side, this way, but the dollar is the other side, opposite side, circulate. This is for circular flow, product and dollars. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me show you the first class slide. And the introduction to economics, first time. This is for what and how much will be produced. We are very scarcely something. And how will item be produced? This is also problem. Products mentioned. And who will items to be produced, make money in the market or something. So there are many concepts of the economic, introduction to economics, okay? So today is the last class of this quarter. So anyway, participate the students, very thankful for you. And I think 2 weeks break and next summer class. So now I'm ready for next class, sociology or something. It's a little bit delayed for economic class. So, but the sociology is very different area. How to approach the sociology by culture, by traditional, by economy, by business, by art. Lots of way to approach the sociology. So every country, every college and university have a very unique methodology. So far I didn't decide how to approach the sociology in our school and next summer class. But my major is business and econs, so I think the approach by the economic and business style sociology. So now I'm ready for next class. So you don't miss the registration, the school office, and take a break, and we see you next time. Okay. Thanks for coming and join my class. Okay.